Check, check, check. I hope you all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. man of the people. Whatever you want to talk about tonight, that's what we're going to talk about. But we had a lot of technical difficulties in getting online tonight. So before I go further into the broadcast, let me know if you can hear me good and if you can see me good. I need to know that first, and then once I verify that, we'll get into a lot more of what we can be talking about here today. But again, had a lot of technical challenges getting on live today. So thank everybody for bearing with me, and I need you guys to let me know if you can hear me clearly, if there's crackling or popping or what it is that you may hear, and then we'll continue to go from there and talk about whatever it is that you may want to talk about. All right. I'm just waiting to hear back from you guys again before I get into this video too much. I know some people may just like to come on and watch, but I need you to let me know if the video is good first before I get into too much of this and go through everything. So Darrell told me it's all good. I need more than one person though. Again, audio quality and video quality. We had a lot of challenges tonight, so I want to make sure that that's good before we get into the show, and then I'll tell you about the day and all that good stuff that we do. Don't be shy though. You can't be shy. I need to know. I need to hear from everybody that's watching about the quality of the video. Now, I only got one comment that says all good, and I can see stats about how many people are watching. It's a lot more than one person. So if more than Darrell, even though Darrell, I appreciate you, can let me know about this quality, and then we'll go good. Light shining, brother, all good. I'm here in, oh, you're hearing crackling? So again, I want to make sure that the sound is good. All right, so another person said sounds good. So I hear some popping noise as you move. All right, I don't want you to hear the popping noise as I move because I will move. So that means I have to order a new cord, which I can't do at this second. So yeah, so let me get rid of the crackling, everybody. Bear with me. Again, you know I like to have everything perfect, so it might take me almost 2 minutes, but give me a minute. I'm going to change my microphone setup just a little bit. All right, so this should be a lot better. All right, so I'll give you guys a moment. I know there's always a delay. Thank everybody for bearing with me here as we go through the technical difficulties here. I'm here in Chicago, and usually my hotels have really, really good internet, but this one has had some questions. So I know we were originally supposed to start at 7 Eastern time. We're almost now to 7:30, but if you guys could take one more moment to let me know about the audio. And I'm sorry, we've been spending about the first 5 minutes making sure production is good. Independent media, man, you get to see reporting at its rawest and what we have to go through when we don't have the whole team of production engineers, camera operators, and all that stuff behind me. So one more second. I'm going to assume that the audio should be crystal clear now, no popping. But I just want at least one person to tell me that it's good. And then we're going to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I can't give you extra time, even though I started late, because I still got to get all the preparations for tomorrow's pregame show. Special guest that will be joining me will be Josh Graham. He's excellent. Going to provide some more insight about this Bears and Panthers matchup. It's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot. Sound is all good. So again, thank you all very much. Chris Jenkins, owner of this independent media company called Charlotte Vibe Media, which covers the Carolina Panthers. We are credentialed, and we'll be at the game tomorrow. I'm here in the suburbs of Chicago, bringing you this show that we do every night before a game when there's a road game. So every road game, look for this casual. It's very casual, whatever you guys want to talk about. Personal questions, Panther questions, who cares, right? But I like to connect with my subscribers, and this is the opportunity for me to do so. There is a link that is in the description. I'm also going to pin it in the comments here in just a second. But there's a link that is in the description that allows you to click on it, whether you're on the phone, on a computer, come online, talk to me face to face. And it's an opportunity for me to meet you, but an opportunity also for you to be on the show, which I invite everybody to be on the show. And let's talk some football, life, whatever you guys want to talk about. So let me go ahead and pin this in the comments as well so that those that want to join can do so. And I hope that there's plenty of you that will come on and allow me to meet you and talk some football with you. Give me just a second, and I'm going to go ahead and pin this into the comments. All right, so now that is also pinned into the comments for you all to join me here in Chicago and talk about these Bears and these Panthers. So let's go ahead and get into it, all right? I've wasted enough of your time with my technical difficulties. Joe Green, what's up, Chris? Let's beat the Bears. I feel good about us beating the Bears. So I started talking about this yesterday, and I'll talk about it some more today. It's been a good, you ever had one of those trying days, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna have a bad day. I'm gonna have a good day, and you just try to keep like an even kill attitude, and something positive happens. You're like, it's gonna be all right, because I keep having a tough day, but good things keep happening. And so I've had a lot of good things happen to me. I've had a lot of bad things. Well, I won't say bad things. I've had a lot of challenging things happen to me today. But I'm here to talk about the Bears and the Panthers tomorrow, 12 o'clock East, 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. I feel pretty good about this matchup. I'm not willing to predict a victory, but I feel pretty good. I just feel like, the first game we won, that game was on the road in Vegas. We came back to Charlotte. We played good, but not good enough to beat the Bengals. And now we're here in Chicago. And I feel like, the story before Bryce got benched was going to be like Bryce versus Caleb. And there's going to be so many storylines about the draft picks that we got or gave to Chicago. And I just feel like Andy Dalton playing his former team, which it is, his former team that he has yet to beat. And I think he said earlier this week that he's only not beaten 3 teams in the NFL. One of them being the Panthers, which obviously that just cannot happen right now. He's okay if he never beats the Panthers with his current situation. But I think the other one was the Cowboys, and now the Chicago Bears. So I feel like the Red Rifle could have some motivation, that little extra motivation that you have when you're playing your former team. He's been playing solid since he's been our quarterback. I feel good about our chances of winning tomorrow morning. So do you say morning or afternoon if the game's at 12? I thought about that as I was saying it. Appreciate the comment, Joe Green. Oh, it's Green. I'm sorry, I said green. It is green. I wear glasses, guys. I'm going to confess it to you. I don't wear them when I'm on air. I'm not comfortable doing that yet. And so I couldn't see it. It looked like an N, but it is an M. Thank you for the comment, Joe Green. What's going on, Micah Evans? Appreciate you tuning in and joining us. My good friend Antonio McClanahan, what's going on? And Antonio always has a good message for you guys. Check out this message right here. If you don't do what I say, if you want to be hard-headed to me, that's all right. My man Antonio is telling you what to do and what I need to do. It helps the channel grow. It helps me get players and coaches on the show when they know that their voice is going to be heard. The larger we grow, then the more their voice is going to be heard. So if you don't mind taking a moment to do one of those things, it would be greatly appreciated and liked. Light shining, brother, all good. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. All right. Going through some more of these comments and getting some things together for you guys through this show. Again, this show is 100% dedicated to your questions. I'm going to answer them. Football, non-football, football 101, whatever you want to talk about. But the big show, the meat of the show, the really great show, when I give you a lot of good information about what's happened this week, when I play my interviews with coaches and players, talk about the inactives, talk about the matchups. That's tomorrow at 10 Central Standard, 12 or 11, I'm sorry, Eastern. I'm trying to convert the time zones on the fly for you guys so you don't have to think about it. All right. What's going on, Rails? I'm trying to be man of the people. Appreciate you. You know, I really, really, really appreciate the comments on my hair. It's like every show this year, there's comments about the haircut. And I'm gonna be honest. I go to get the haircut for the purpose of looking good. So I'm great to hear, but a little bit like, man, does it look that good? Or was I doing that bad before with the haircuts? Which one is it? But I appreciate you, Rock Jones. I appreciate you. And just to let you guys know, like sometimes, like even before coming to Chicago, I was like, I might not get a haircut. I think I'm good. I might just trim it up myself. And I'm like, no, they've been noticing. So if I don't get the haircut and I just kind of look regular, they can be like, hey, this game wasn't important to you? So I appreciate you, Rock Jones. Thank you very much. All right, Airsoft 101 says, what's the score predictions on the Bears game? Man, all right, this is a show for you guys, so I'm going to try to think of a score. I feel a little bit tainted because Airsoft also gave a score prediction. Airsoft says, who's asking me, he predicts 24-21 Panthers. Oh, man. I'm going to really try to think here and give you guys a score prediction. Carolina 30, Chicago 20. Carolina Panthers 30, Chicago Bears 20. That is my score prediction for tomorrow, October 6th in Chicago. We'll see if it happens. Johnny Jones, JJ. What's good with you, JJ? Appreciate you jumping on, talk with me tonight. Nobody's gotten brave enough to come on the show yet. That's why the show is live, so you guys can come on. Again, the link is in the description. The link is also pinned in the comments. Click on that link, come on the show, talk to me. But until then, yeah, I'll definitely continue to entertain all the comments that are coming through, okay? Appreciate you guys. Let me know the sound is good. A W for the Panthers, 28-21. I think you sold my score, Shannon. Hey, Shannon, you're a member, so you know what members get whenever they come on the show? They get all these special effects that we love to share because you are important. You are kind. Thank you, Shannon, for being a member, supporting independent media out here as we do what we do. No Black Michaels in the pregame show tomorrow. Rock, hopefully you didn't have me say something that's terrible, but I don't know what you're talking about. No Black Michaels in the pregame show tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not sure. You lost me there. But you know what we got? We got some big love. We got some big love. We got some big love. My man, Dorrell, I might have to use your super chat to upgrade my internet here at the hotel. But he said audio cable fund. That is, look, I'm mad too because I'm going to show you guys this. So this is the cable that's obviously shorted out. It's a little long here. This is my cable. I've had this cable maybe 2 months because it was getting a little ginky before. And so now I'm wondering, like, if I just had to get a new brand, if I had to get like a gold-plated one or something like that. So I think you're not far from the cost of the cable, Darrell. I think it might be 20-something bucks. But I was prepared for it to happen just in case. So you see, I went fancy. I'm wireless. I could walk all around the hotel and you can hear me even though you wouldn't see me, so that would do me no good. But thank you for that, because quite honestly, Darrell, it will be used for buying a new cable. So appreciate the super chat very much. Appreciate the super chat very much. Hitting wrong buttons here. I'm sorry. All right, let's continue to work through some of these comments. And is this a good time to do these shows the night before? I can't remember before if I did it at 8 o'clock instead of today trying to do it at 7 o'clock. So, you know, I work for you guys. I want to do stuff when it makes the most sense for you all to tune in. So please feel free to give me feedback if you say, hey, I like these night before chats, these casual chats that get to know you and not to talk football, but could you do it at such and such time? Let me know, and I'll always try to make it possible for you all to support me and getting the show at a time that works on your end. Oh, Johnson is going to pop off tomorrow. Okay, okay. What's good? What's going on, D-Tice79? Thank you for tuning in to the show. Wide receivers on both sides. What's your take on coverage and attention? DJ Revenge Game, Red Rifle. So, man, I got to sit a little differently here. Oh, man. We're making this work. All right, hold on a second. I got to lift the camera up a little bit because I was trying to sit lower, and it wasn't working out too well. So we're going to raise this camera up because I need to sit a little higher. Let's see if that's high enough. I was trying to sit lower and not sit on the bed, but there we go. I'm going to have to sit on the bed and talk to you guys and just drag this laptop a little bit closer so that this will work. So let me get it. There we go. So wide receivers. All right, so DJ Moore, former Carolina Panthers, now Chicago Bears. Yeah, you can kind of look at it as a revenge game for him. And then you had a Red Rifle who formerly was on the Chicago Bears. So I think Andy Dalton has more of an ability to control the game and get his revenge game than I feel like DJ Moore does. Because DJ Moore, just make sure the camera's zoomed in enough. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. Y'all probably going to laugh at me here, but there we go. I want things to be just right. DJ Moore is going to be dependent on his quarterback doing a good job of getting him the ball. And then his quarterback's going to be dependent on the line. So to me, for DJ to have a really good game, it's a lot of stuff that's in the way. But for Dalton to have a pretty good game, I feel like he's in control because he's a veteran quarterback. I don't know, was it 14 years he's been in the league, something like that? And then his line has been playing exceptionally well. And, you know, he just gets to pick on whoever he wants to throw the ball to. And he's not going to be like, oh, I got to get it to only Deontay. Now, Deontay is undoubtedly going to be his first choice. Deontay has had almost 30 targets in the past 2 weeks. But I'm going to say, yeah, DJ wants to win against his former team. Every player does, no doubt. But I'm going to give the revenge factor to Andy Dalton. Caleb Williams being a rookie quarterback, he's been okay. I think he could struggle a little bit more than that would hurt DJ from having a standout game. But I appreciate the question. Hopefully you appreciated the response. All right, let's continue to work. And I'm sorry I got to look down more, but I was sitting on this bench and it was not comfortable. Panthers Prime Podcast, boss man. Hey, Hey, Panthers, why don't you come on, man? Since everybody else is trying to be chicken tonight, we got about 20 more minutes in the show tonight. Again, my apologies for starting late and then having the technical difficulties, but I want to do stuff right. You guys know that when you watch this channel, your boy may be a little late, but I want these broadcasts to look ESPN-like network quality and be good stuff. And I want to interact with you guys, so please continue to get used to these shows. Again, every time that there's an away game, I'll do this night before show. We'll just sit down, chop it up, talk some football, all right? Get to know one another. Panthers Prime Podcast, you're invited on tonight if you want to come on. He predicts the Panthers 31, the Bears 5. That's a pretty big blowout. We got Daylon Theedle. I know we haven't heard when DJ Wanham is supposed to come back, but have you seen him on the practice field? So I, throughout the week, will go to the stadium. I will be in the locker room. I will be around the guys, but I have not attended any practices, mostly because the practices available to the media once the season starts are just like you get to see guys stretching and warming up. You don't get to see any kind of preparation that they're doing for the game. You don't get to see any 7-on-7, 11-on-11. So for that reason, I'm out, like a Shark Tank. No, for that reason, I don't go to the practices because it's not too much to get from them these days. So I haven't seen how one of them has looked. And, again, even if I did see him, it will be during the period of practice when they're just doing one-on-one drills in their positions, not giving me a chance to really evaluate much and saying, yeah, one of them's out here. But I appreciate the question, Dallin. Uh-oh. You guys showing the love tonight. I appreciate it. Let me get your music together.
Super chat.
We'll turn it up a little bit. We'll play it one more time. There we go. Turn it up a little bit. Super chats. Always needed, greatly appreciated. Darrell started the super chat tonight for the audio cable fund, since my audio cable is jacked up, crackles, so we know what the problem is. We need to order a new one. Feel free to contribute to that fund. We are now up to, 5 plus 12. We're up to $17 for the cable fund. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all how much it costs, because if we can get this tonight, I will absolutely order it. And the next show, you will have some amazing audio quality that you have come to expect from Charlotte Vibe Broadcast. Let me see how much this thing costs. We're gonna tell y'all right now. We're gonna raise this money because y'all showing me love to help support what we do out here. Oh, it says it's only $11, which again might be why it has crackled and I need to upgrade. So let me see if there's a upgraded one. I ain't gonna take too much of y'all time. No, I think we're good because $15. So we there. But keep the super chats coming. We got many other expenses beyond the audio cable that we need to fix, but keep them coming. Keep them coming. Let me keep back up here with the comments. All right, so Shannon Taylor, it's time for Leggett to have a breakout game. I need 2 TDs or 100 yards. You got a wager? Shannon, that sounds like a wager type thing. 2 TDs or 100 yards. And Coker needs more play to along with Sanders. I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm ready and a little excited. Yeah, Shannon, you ready for sure. 2 TDs from Leggett? I mean, he does seem like he's going to be the wide receiver that has the potential to break out. It has only been, in my opinion, 2 good games to really judge him on now that we got Andy out there. So I certainly would get on the Leggett train or horse, I should say, right, because he loves horses. But I want to see, before I could hype the train, I might get on the train, but I'm not going to hype the train until we have one more game. He's a rookie. He's had 2 good games, 2 good-looking games from his route running perspective, his speed, et cetera, et cetera. He did have some drops, even though all these guys had last game, we had drops all over the place. So I'm cheering for him, though. I'm not going to be mad. I continue to report on a team that's playing some good football. I can promise you that. Let's get one more super chat before we get out of here. we're good on our away games. I feel like we need to start winning at home also. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I feel like we could have a good game tomorrow is because the first game that we won was an away game. Brooks will donate. Give me a few, but I'm going slide. Okay. We're going to donate. Hey, we need donations around here. We need donations around here. So that kind of gets us up to date with the comments. But we got well over 100 people watching right now. And for those that are new and tuning in, this show, the live show the day before, is about taking your questions. So I'm just here going to answer whatever questions or comments that you all have. I'll certainly talk if there are no questions or comments. But that's what this show is about. I feel like it's important for me, being in the media, being a man of the people, to give you all a chance and a platform to just ask questions and have a connection with the media. I think that's something that's unique and something that's needed. So there's a link also in the description for those that want to, and I'm encouraging you to come on the show. Yeah, you can come on my show and ask me any questions, or we'll continue to work through some comments. But I'll tell you guys about my day so far. So it was I'll tell you this story first, right? So I'm trying to get ready for the game today, a little behind and getting myself together, getting all the equipment packed up in the bag. And I'm going to the airport. So for away games, there's two of us that travel. It's me and then our photographer, Patrick Snyder, that travels to the away games until you guys pick up those super chats. Or become a member. You can become a member. And so I'm on my way. I literally, just got to the airport in Charlotte, and I get a text, and I look at it, and it's my photographer saying, "Hey, man, thanks for picking up the media credentials." And I was like, where are they? So I get in the airport, and I start looking through my bag, and I'm like, I don't think I have our credentials. And so I left the office, and I called back to the office. I said, "Hey, can you look and see are there any credentials in the office?" And he's like, he found one. I'm like, "No, that's for Charlotte. Is there any other one for Chicago?" He said, "No, I don't see any." So I'm like, "Oh, crap. This isn't good." And so I checked my luggage in because that's important. I'm like, it might be tight. I'm going to have to go back to the car. So I checked my luggage in and get my boarding pass so I won't have any difficulties trying to get through. And I go back outside. I take a shuttle back to the parking, get in my car, and their credentials. So he doesn't know this unless he's watching right now, but I did not have our credentials for the game today until you text me saying thank you. And then I had to run back to the parking garage through a shuttle, tip the driver so he could take me immediately back to the airport, get on the plane, and have our credentials. So, those are some of the things that happened to me today, and I'll share some more unless you guys give me some more questions out here. But my man, look at this. Look at this. We got another one here. Let's play the sound.
Super chat.
And yeah, whether it's $1, $10, $100, I appreciate it so much. So thank you, Airsoft 101, for the super chat and contributing to the fund to get us some new cables here so we can always make sure that we're rolling. Let me go ahead and catch back up with these comments that have been coming through. All right, still waiting for some more comments. Y'all out there being shy. So we got about 10 more minutes in case anybody has a question that they want to submit to me. Share a little bit more about the day and getting here. Let's see if I can get this to you guys. Let's see. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button, all right? Check this out. Check this out. Let's get this on the screen. Boom. What do you see there? That is me on the flight today to come to Chicago. Why am I smiling so big? Well, you see that seat to the left of me and the other seat I got an empty row. And this wasn't the exit row. This was I think they call it preferred. I don't know what they call it, but you get a little bit more leg room. So I'm starting to get these now because that gives me a chance to work on the plane as I get here and get everything together for the show tomorrow. But I lucked out, and I had nobody sitting next to me So I had a very comfortable ride to the airport. I said to the airport. I didn't mean to say to the airport. I had a very comfortable ride into Chicago because of that, and that was great. So I see Darrell has joined me, and I forgot to get my earphones. So Darrell, I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna give you probably all the time that you want, unless anybody else come on the show. So nobody else want to take advantage of this opportunity to talk with me one on one. Any questions that they have, even though you can't get this anywhere else. You tell me what media allows you to just talk to them about whatever you want to talk to them about. You got to wait and call in, or anyway. I almost got my earpieces in, Darrell. I'm done wasting time, but give me one more second. I got to get this one on here, and then I got to plug it in, and we're gonna talk to Darrell. We got like 9 minutes, so yeah. Anybody else want to join us? Feel free to do so. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Appreciate you jumping on it. Why is everybody acting scared tonight to come on the show and talk to me?
I got two questions for you, man.
Shoot.
First question I have: What do you think? Well, how do you think our linebackers are going to do tomorrow? Being inexperienced, what do you think about the linebackers? And then my second question is more so an origin story. Could you tell us your origin story? Like, how did you start following the team, covering the team?
Yeah. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk. Well, let me talk about the last question first, if you don't mind, because I'm
Okay.
extremely passionate about what I do and covering this team. So I like telling my story. So it was back in 2006 is when I started the company Charlotte Vibe, and it wasn't just dedicated towards sports back in 2006. It was basically, uh, I would like to call it a modern newspaper, online newspaper kind of media company. So we covered the Hornets, we covered the Panthers, but we also covered like what I would like to call as positive and cool news. Like, you know, I felt like, man, I don't want to just pick up the newspaper and read about the crime and the sad stuff. I want to, like, there's good stuff going on. There's entertainment that's going on. So that's where we started. And then we just kind of over the years, with that space becoming more crowded, went to just focusing on the Panthers. So we've been exclusively Carolina Panthers now for, geez, I don't know, man. I'm going to guess 10 years or so. We've been exclusive Carolina Panthers is what this media company covers. So that's the origin. That's what has me here. So does that answer that question there?
It does. It does. Thank you.
Yeah. And so let's go ahead and talk about the linebackers. Shaq Thompson out for the year. Had successful surgery. I believe it was Wednesday, but he had successful surgery, and he's going to be out for the year. And then Josie Jewell got hurt as well last week. Now he's not going to be out for the year, but he had, I forget, I think he had maybe a hamstring and a groin. He had like two things on his lower body that he got injured last week versus the Bengals. So they knew he was going to be out this week, pretty much come Monday. So he's going to be continue to be week to week, and that's going to have the rookie Trevin Wallace. That's going to be the Mike linebacker wearing the green dot on his helmet, and then Claudin Sherlis, I believe is how you say his name. He's going to also be out there with him. So I feel good about Trevin. I'm actually excited about Trevin being out there and getting some experience. I feel like he's a guy that has a real high motor. I feel like he has one of those exceptional skills that you just dream about for a linebacker, especially in the middle, that can run from side to side to cover receivers that he needs to, but also to use that same skill to tackle if he needs to and providing some support. And not forget, but he has a pretty fast 40 too. So he's like a really unique athlete at that linebacker position. And early on in the season, he was playing pretty good, and the coaches wanted to get him more playing time, but they're like, he's playing like a little slow. And they could tell like he's thinking. And he's now playing a lot faster. And, I definitely feel like, yeah, you're going to lose something when you get a 10-year veteran like Shaq that's out. But I feel like Trevin's going to do pretty good. And then Claude, to me, he's more of a question mark, like more of wait and see what he can do. And I think that Ivero's game plan is going to have to be knowing that he has two rookies out there and not give those guys too much.
All right. Thank you, sir. That's all I have for you, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, make sure you tune in tomorrow. It'll be 10 o'clock Central Standard Time that I'll do the pregame show. We'll be out there in front of Soldier Field. Fortunately, it's not cold yet, so I shouldn't be freezing, but we'll get you prepared with the latest inactives and injuries and the matchups and things like that for the game.
All right. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, have a good evening. All right, so see, it's easy to call in. Call in and talk to me. Let's see how y'all doing. Let's go through a few more of these questions that we got out here. Let's see. All right, here's a good one. Again, see, this is just you guys are getting used to it. It's just a show, man. Let's get to know one another. Let's ask football questions, historical, well, like whatever you want to know. I really want to use these night before shows to connect with you guys and be more personable because I don't want you to look at me as just like some figure that you can't touch or access. I think some media people do that. I don't want to be that kind of media person. T. Green, after all the away games you have been to, which state do you love the most? So one thing about me when I travel to away games, being a smaller company, I have to keep things pretty lean, meaning I'm not going to be staying at the five-star hotels down in the city. Fortunately, you guys have been joining enough. I'm not having to stay at like the Motel 6. Nothing wrong with those, but it's just like when you go into a new city, you don't know if that Motel 6 is one of the better neighborhood ones or if it's one that you're going to be like, man, I feel a little uncomfortable, right? So I pretty much go in and I'm out pretty quick, and I don't put in much time to go and explore the place. So with that being said, I don't get to explore a lot of times when I'm around. What place comes to mind that I thought was really cool and interesting was going to Seattle, Washington. So that was, I think, maybe about 2 to 3 years ago. I went out to Seattle for the game, and I was like, man, this is a pretty cool place. I wouldn't mind being able to come out here some more. Just the city was a lot bigger than I thought it would be. I feel like I've actually been a little ignorant of some cities, thinking like they won't be as big as they are. But Seattle's a pretty big city. Pretty cool things in the city. I think I went to like a dim sum restaurant out there that was really, really good. Hopefully I got that right. And by the way, I'm a guy that likes to eat, but I don't remember a lot of the details like where and what I ordered from before. But yeah, Seattle, Washington. And so I stayed actually out near, I'm going to forget. But Seattle's actually big enough where it has like two cities in one, if you will. Like there's the downtown area, which is nice, urban city, and then you could drive for about 20, 30 minutes out. And there's another very populated, densely populated city type place. And that's where I stayed. And I just thought it was cool. The terrain out there, the city, the lakes, the mountains, not being far from Canada. It was just really cool. And I like outdoors. So Seattle, or state-wise, would have been Washington is my answer for you on that one. Appreciate the question, T. Green. Dalton, so another question here. I know the running backs have been running the ball really well the last couple of weeks, but do you think it'd be wise to run the ball even more since our defense is so banged up and we need to control the clock? Dallin, absolutely. Absolutely. So it just depends, right, how much you run the ball to control the clock. And so it depends on, like, how well does the offense do? Is the offense really clicking and they can just put some points up on the board through mixing up running passing? Yeah, you go there. But if you see that Chicago's defense is doing the same thing, they're running up and down the field on you, then, yeah, you might want to slow it down a little bit because with all the rookies that will be playing, with potentially Marquise Haynes that will be playing, I feel like Marquise Haynes will play very situationally, like when you're pretty sure that it's going to be a pass play, so you can just get him in there, and his assignment is just to bull rush, well, I say bull rush, but just get to the quarterback, Caleb, and sack him. So I feel like conditionally, if the Bears are starting to move the ball a lot, yes, because you never know what's going to happen to these rookies. Especially look for this adjustment. Especially look for the adjustment of the run game, the ratio of pass to run for the second half, because that's when coaches have a chance to see, make some tweaks. And I felt like last week we got out coached a little bit against the Bengals, which I'm fine with. It wasn't terrible, but I felt like we got out coached a little bit in the second half by how things changed. If you look at the score, the yards, just the way the game played, the Bengals made some halftime adjustments that the Panthers weren't really able to counter and were able to take advantage in that game. So the Bears, hopefully, that'd be an opportunity for them to make adjustments as that second half where you may see that. But I feel like coming out the game, T. Green, I'm sorry, Dallin, I'm messing your name all up. Off gate, just kind of go with the script. You don't have to go run heavy to control the clock. I don't feel like we have to come out the gates like that. Appreciate the question very, very much. And Shannon House celebrates 1 month of membership. Well, at least 100 yards. Appreciate you being a member, Shannon. It is greatly appreciated. Hopefully we can stop the run and pass against the Bears. Possibly a Bear fan in here. Claws up, Bear down. Oh, and T. Green understood my talk on the. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. I mean, I've stayed at some cheap hotels, but it's only like when I know that cheap hotel is in a part of the city that I'm comfortable with. Otherwise, I got 3 kids, and as my wife says, a whole wife at home. She don't want me coming home with any injuries or anything else. So chuba running everywhere, running everywhere. Yeah, so I forget the guy's name. I don't listen to it a lot, not out of any reason other than time. But WFNZ, I forget which one of the guys, but there's a Chuba Hubbard song that was remixed from Bubba Sparks' song. And yeah, so that's how it would go. Chuba, we're running everywhere, So that would be good if Chuba's running everywhere tomorrow. I hope you don't have that stuck in my head. Some people feel like a DJ Moore revenge game coming. How bad are the Bears going to whoop the Panthers? Yeah, I don't mind you being in here if you're a Bears fan. I'm all for it. I just love talking football. So if you found me and you're a Bears fan, welcome. If you want to come on, I'm on a little extra. So I'll give you 2 minutes, Ron, if you want to come on and talk some Bears. I'm all good for it. So do you think there's a chance that Marquise Haynes gets activated Sunday? Yeah, I think there's a chance because Marquise tried out for the team. I forget exactly, but I remember like toward the end of practice during training camp, a cart would come up, and then another cart would be guys that are going to be trying out for the team. And so this would have been, I guess, preseason, right? And Marquise Haynes came and tried out for the team early this year during preseason. And he was not one of the guys that was picked up. There was a guy that was picked up from that group that day that came and tried out, but he was not one. So to me, that says, all right, you're not where we need you yet. And so with the injuries that we've been getting, with the lack of pass rush, they're like, you know what, let's call Marquise back. He came and tried out. We're not getting any pressure. I think the big thing is last week against the Bengals, we didn't get pressure on Joe. I mean, he was back there just chilling, hanging out. And I know there's some stats out there. I don't know off the top of my head. But basically, we did one of the worst performances last week in getting pressure on the opposing quarterback. So they wanted to address it, and they have addressed it by signing Marquise Haynes. And so this is why I feel like he's going to play. Not only did they sign him to the practice squad, but it was the same day that they signed him to the practice squad, he went to practice that day. Pretty quick. So basically they probably had him in the night before. Let's go through the physicals, get all the paperwork done. Okay, once the physical pass, technical. So I feel like they definitely want him out there because of how quickly they had him out there going through things as much as he can. Coach didn't say he wouldn't play, but and I get a lot of things that Dave Canales is doing right now is trying to make sure he does not give any any schemes, any tactical plans, if I could say tactical, or we're talking about football, away to the opposing team, and I feel like he's going to play. That's my 2 cents. Welcome back, Chris. How's the scenery in Chicago? So I have family out here in Chicago. As soon as I landed, I went and saw some of my relatives that I haven't seen in a while. I got some aunts and uncles out here that in their 80s, so I made sure I went and saw them. So I didn't go to the city, putting some family first. Love family, period. So haven't got a chance to see Chicago, but it is a city that I would definitely like to spend some more time in, downtown with the river and stuff like that. Really would like to see that, but have not had a chance to. Chicago is a massive city and glows. Yeah, so it was, I'm not sure how many years ago that we had a game against Chicago, and it was a night game. And on the side of the stadium that the media is on is the same side that the lake is on. And yeah, it was just beautiful, man. And even just sitting inside the stadium where we were, there's an open part of the stadium, and you can see the city. And I agree, like it was beautiful. Now, unfortunately, I was working. By the time it was all said and done, it was extremely late, so I did not get to see it. But from the river stuff, the beach or the lake stuff, it's definitely a city that I would like to be able to spend some more time in if I had the opportunity. It definitely glows at night. Huge city, huge city. What's up, man? What's the move with my kin, Damani Richardson? Says eat more burgers. So, yeah, Damani's a great guy. I had a chance to interview him one-on-one during the preseason. He was first cut, then on the practice squad, and then to the 53. So we're going to see what's up with Damani tomorrow. Certainly we'll be able to see what's up with Damani tomorrow. I'm giving you guys some bonus time because I feel bad that I started the broadcast late and had some technical difficulty. But I'm starving, and I got to get ready for tomorrow's show, which I'm going to plug here again in just a second after I read Clyde's information. Clyde just subscribed to Charlotte Vibe a few days ago. My man, appreciate you. Now my favorite Panthers channel. Oh, I appreciate you even more. Love the content. Keep up the good work. My brother from Charleston, South Carolina. So, Clyde, let me tell you what you can expect. Tomorrow is our pregame show, which will be live and direct from Soldier Field at 10 o'clock Central Standard. That's going to be 11 Eastern. I'm going to get you all ready and up to date. And I have a special guest that I'm sure you will love if you've never heard of him. Josh Graham. I forget where exactly is. He is out of, I don't know all the counties in Charlotte. In North Carolina. But he is on WSJS in North Carolina. I'm not sure if it's Raleigh, Greensboro. Please don't kill me about that. But he's on the radio. He has a radio show that he's been hosting in the Carolinas, again, out of Raleigh, Greensboro area. I'm so sorry I forget. Josh Graham is going to be part of the morning show. He's going to call in from Carolina tomorrow. And, yeah, it's going to be a good show, man. So if you have subscribed but you haven't seen that, it's a good treat. And then for the home games, it's actually a 3-person show. We'll have myself, my co-host Brian Gallagher, and then Rashad from Panther Nation Podcast coming on, and we'll talk about the game. So glad you love the channel. Glad that you subscribe. Appreciate you very much. I don't take any of my subscribers for granted. So I'm glad I was able to get to most of everything tonight. I got to get some food in my stomach. I have not had any food since probably 1 o'clock. No, 12 o'clock. No, 11. And I haven't eaten in about 8 hours. Okay, let me just put it that way. So, but I want to do the show, and I got to also get prep work done for tomorrow's pregame show and all that jazz. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe, a.k.a. Man of the People. You now have a friend in the media, which is myself. Appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I'll see you tomorrow morning.